everyone. Welcome back to the Native English Podcast, brought to you by Native English Stories. I am Sarah.
And I am John. We are here to help you practice real, everyday English and have some fun while doing it. If you are new here, please subscribe to our channel and share this to a friend who is also learning English.
Today, we are talking about something incredibly important for everyday conversation.
That is right. Today's topic is how to describe your feelings and talk about emotions in English.
So, John, how are you feeling today?
Honestly, Sarah, I am feeling really good today. Pretty happy, actually.
Oh, that is great. I'm happy too. I had a really lovely weekend.
Oh, nice. What did you get up to?
On Saturday, I stayed home, made a big, cozy dinner, and watched a few episodes of a show I've been meaning to start for ages. It felt so relaxing.
That sounds wonderful. What about Sunday?
Sunday was a bit quieter. I felt a little bored in the afternoon, if I'm honest.
Oh, no.
But then I called my sister, and we talked for almost 2 hours, and that made me feel so much better.
Talking to family really does fix things sometimes.
It really does. So you see, I went from bored to happy in one phone call.
And that's actually our topic today. We are already talking about emotions without even trying.
Exactly. Let's start with the basics. The most common feeling in English is happy. John, when do you feel happy?
I feel happy when I spend time with people I enjoy being around. I feel happy when the sun is out and it's warm. And honestly, I feel happy right now talking to you on this podcast.
That is really sweet. Me too. I also feel happy when I eat something delicious. A really good meal can completely change my mood.
Oh, absolutely. Food is a serious happiness tool.
Now, another word for happy is glad. For example, I'm glad to be here today talking with you.
We can also say pleased. I'm really pleased with how this conversation is going. But happy is definitely the most natural and common word in everyday speech.
Now, let's talk about the opposite, sad. John, when do you feel sad?
I feel sad when the weather is gray and rainy for days and days. Something about a long stretch of cloudy days really affects my mood.
Same. I also feel sad when I watch an emotional film. I'm definitely someone who cries at movies.
That is completely okay. Feeling sad is a normal and healthy emotion. Nothing wrong with it at all.
A word similar to sad is upset. Can you give us an example?
Sure. Yesterday, I felt upset when I realized I had deleted an important file at work by accident. That sinking feeling in your stomach?
Oh no, did you recover it?
I did eventually, but those 20 minutes of panic were not fun. I felt a bit silly afterwards when I found it in the recycle bin.
Oh, that is so relatable. Now, the word upset is interesting because it can mean sad, but it can also carry a little bit of anger too.
Exactly. Like if someone cancels on you at the last minute, you might feel upset. It's a mixture of disappointed and a little annoyed.
That's a great point. Now, let's talk about angry, another very common emotion.
I do not enjoy feeling angry, but it happens. I feel angry when technology doesn't work, like when my internet drops right in the middle of an important video call.
Oh, that is the worst.
A great word connected to angry is frustrated. Frustrated means you're a bit angry, but also tired of a problem that you can't seem to solve.
I feel frustrated when I'm trying to follow a recipe and the instructions make absolutely no sense. Like, do I add this before that? I just stand there completely confused.
Recipe instructions can be written in another language sometimes, honestly.
A smaller version of angry is annoyed. Annoyed is like a minor irritation. It's not big anger at all.
Right, like if someone is playing loud music on their headphones next to you on public transport, that's annoying. Not a huge deal, but just enough to bother you.
Or someone chewing loudly in a quiet room. Very annoying.
Wow, yes, that one gets me every time.
Now, let's talk about feeling scared. I'm going to be honest. I'm scared of turbulence on flights.
Oh, really? I'm scared of very deep water, like looking down into the ocean from a boat and not being able to see the bottom.
Wow, that's such a specific fear. You can also say afraid. I'm afraid of heights, for example. Heights means high places like tall buildings or cliff edges.
And sometimes we're only a little scared, like a mild nervousness. In that case, we use the word nervous.
I feel nervous before I have to speak in front of a large group. Even after doing this podcast for a while, there are still moments.
I feel nervous before any kind of important meeting. My hands get a little cold.
Another feeling very close to nervous is worried. Worried means a thought keeps going round and round in your head and you can't let it go.
Last month, I was really worried about my dad because he wasn't feeling well. Even when I was doing other things, the thought was always there in the background.
I hope he's doing better now.
He is, thank you. It's such a relief when the worry finally passes.
And that brings us nicely to the word relieved, which we'll come back to. But first, let's talk about some positive feelings. Excited.
Oh, I love feeling excited. Excited is that energetic, happy feeling about something coming up in the future.
I feel excited before a holiday, like the night before when you've already packed and you just can't sleep properly.
Yes, exactly. I felt excited this morning, actually, thinking about today's episode.
That's really lovely to hear. Now, let's talk about tired, because tired is such a common feeling, and it can be both physical and emotional.
I feel tired every single Monday morning, without exception. My eyes feel heavy, my brain feels slow.
You're not a morning person, are you?
Not even slightly.
And when I'm really, really tired, like after a very long or difficult week, I use the word exhausted. Exhausted means no energy left at all, empty.
After a week with lots of late nights and early starts, I feel completely exhausted by Friday evening.
And then sometimes we feel surprised. Sarah, do you like surprises?
I like good surprises. My friends threw me a small surprise dinner last month, and I was completely shocked when I walked in.
Shocked is a great word. It's a very strong version of surprised. Like when something is so unexpected, your whole body reacts. My mouth just fell open. I had no idea at all.
The classic shocked face. Now, what about confused?
Oh, confused is very relatable. Confused means you do not understand something. Your thoughts feel mixed up or tangled.
I feel confused by new software updates. Every time an app changes its layout, I spend 10 minutes trying to find things that used to be right in front of me.
I feel confused when I arrive somewhere new and I have to navigate using a map. My sense of direction is honestly terrible.
Now, let us talk about lonely. That is a more tender feeling.
Yes, lonely means feeling alone, even sometimes when people are around you. It's an emotional feeling rather than a physical one.
When you feel lonely, it really helps to reach out to someone. A quick message or a short call can make such a difference.
Definitely. Now, a really beautiful feeling is hopeful. Hopeful means you believe something good is going to happen.
I feel hopeful every time I start learning something new. Like there's this feeling of possibility ahead of you.
I feel hopeful about our listeners and viewers. Seeing people genuinely working on their English is such a warm and encouraging thing.
It really is. And connected to hopeful is proud. Proud is a strong, happy feeling you get when you or someone you care about does something good.
I felt so proud last year when my younger cousin passed her university entrance exams. She had worked so hard.
I feel proud of myself when I push through something that felt really difficult and I come out the other side.
That is a wonderful feeling. Now let us talk about embarrassed. Oh, I have a story.
Haha, please tell us.
I was in a coffee shop last week, completely distracted looking at my phone, and I walked straight into a glass door. Not through it, thankfully, just into it with a noise.
Haha, oh no.
And at least 4 people looked at me. My face went completely red. I was so embarrassed.
I once waved back at someone in the street thinking they were waving at me. They were waving at the person standing right behind me.
The slow realization, that is painfully embarrassing.
I kept walking very fast after that.
Embarrassed is that hot red face feeling when you make a small, silly mistake in front of other people.
Now, let us talk about bored. Bored means you have nothing interesting to do and your mind feels flat and empty.
I feel bored on very long train journeys when I have already finished everything I brought with me to do.
I feel bored in long meetings that could honestly have been a short email. I start watching the clock.
We all know that meeting. Now, what about jealous?
Jealous is when you want something that someone else has. It's a normal feeling, but it doesn't feel very good.
But there's a nicer version, impressed. If your colleague gets a promotion because they genuinely worked incredibly hard, instead of jealous, you can feel impressed.
Impressed means you think something or someone is really good. I'm impressed by people who can speak 4 languages fluently. That genuinely blows my mind.
Same. Wow, that is a talent I deeply respect.
Now, let's come back to relieved because it's such a useful word.
Yes, relieved is that wonderful feeling after a worry disappears. You were nervous or scared about something, and then it turns out to be okay. That big breath out, like a weight lifting.
Exactly. I felt so relieved when I found my passport the morning of a flight after spending 20 minutes convinced I had lost it.
Oh, that is such a specific kind of panic. I felt relieved when I got a medical check result back and everything was completely fine. You hold your breath for those moments. You really do. Now, disappointment. Disappointed is a kind of sad feeling, but very specific.
You feel disappointed when something you expected or hoped for doesn't happen.
I planned a picnic with friends last summer and spent ages preparing all the food. Then the morning arrived and it poured with rain all day.
Oh no, that's so disappointing.
We ended up eating the picnic food indoors, which was actually fine, but the feeling of the plan falling apart was a real letdown.
A letdown is another way of saying disappointment, something that didn't live up to what you expected.
Now, let us talk about guilty. Guilty is a heavy moral feeling.
Guilty means you think you did something wrong and that thought stays with you.
I feel guilty when I forget to reply to a message for days and then suddenly remember. That little pang of guilt.
I feel guilty if I said something a bit too bluntly, and I can see it affected someone, even if I didn't mean to be unkind.
Ashamed is stronger than guilty. Ashamed means you feel deeply bad about something and you wouldn't want others to know.
It's like guilt plus embarrassment combined into one heavier feeling, a really difficult emotion to sit with.
Now let us talk about a lovely one, curious.
Oh yes, curious means you want to know more. You're interested and you're asking questions.
I'm constantly curious about other cultures and the way people live in different parts of the world. It's one of my favorite things about traveling.
I'm curious about space in the universe. How big is it really? What's out there? I could fall down that rabbit hole for hours.
Curiosity is such a positive feeling. It drives learning and growth.
And a feeling that's really important to practice is grateful or thankful. They mean the same thing. You appreciate something or someone in your life.
I'm grateful for really simple things. A good morning coffee, a sunny afternoon, a message from a friend just checking in.
I'm grateful for our community of listeners and viewers. The fact that you're here right now learning with us genuinely means a lot.
It really does. Thank you.
Now, anxious. People use this word a lot, and it's similar to nervous, but stronger.
Anxious is a worry that sits with you for longer. You feel uneasy and you can't quite relax. Your mind keeps jumping to what could go wrong.
I feel anxious before long international flights. Did I pack everything? Is my travel document correct? Did I check in properly?
The airport anxiety spiral. I feel anxious before job interviews, even now. Slightly sweaty palms, fast heartbeat.
And finally, overwhelmed, a very big feeling that's incredibly common in modern life.
Overwhelmed means you have too much happening at once. Too many tasks, too many decisions, too many feelings all at the same time, and you feel stuck not knowing where to start.
Monday mornings can do that. You open your laptop, see 40 unread emails, a full calendar, and 3 messages you forgot to answer, and your brain just freezes.
The best thing when you feel overwhelmed is to pick just one small thing and do only that first.
Such good advice. Okay, let's do a quick review together. We've covered so many emotions today. Happy, sad, angry, frustrated, annoyed, scared, afraid, nervous, worried, excited, tired, exhausted, surprised, shocked, confused, lonely, hopeful, proud, embarrassed, bored, jealous, impressed, relieved, disappointed, guilty, ashamed, curious, grateful, anxious, and overwhelmed.
Wow, that's a full emotional vocabulary right there. And we use almost all of these in normal, everyday conversation.
The key thing is to just start using them. Even beginning with I feel happy or I feel tired is a great start.
And asking other people how they feel is such a kind and connecting thing to do.
So we have a question for you today. What is one emotion you feel often and why?
Think about your daily life. Maybe you often feel grateful for your family. Maybe you feel curious because you love learning new things. Maybe you feel frustrated with traffic on your commute.
Write your answer in the comments below. We read every single one and we genuinely love to hear from you.
Writing your feelings down in English is a wonderful way to practice and remember these words.
Sarah, what emotion do you feel most often?
I think I feel grateful most often for small daily things, a warm home, a good conversation, the fact that I get to do something I love for work. Gratitude really does change how you see a day.
That's beautiful. Mine is curious. I'm almost always curious about something. A new topic, a question someone asked, something I read. That feeling of wanting to understand things more drives me every day.
I love that, and that curiosity is exactly what brings people to learn a new language.
Exactly right. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Please like and subscribe if you learned something new today. This is Native English Podcast.
Brought to you by Native English Stories. Don't forget to check out the pinned comment below. We've left a tiny challenge there for you.
All right, we'll see you in the next episode. Take good care of yourselves. I'm John.
And I'm Sarah.